right, welcome to the Patriot Hour for Saturday evening, 12/29/2018. I am Michael, your host. If you're new to the channel, thanks for stopping by, folks. Thanks for giving us some of your time. We know it's valuable to you, so we try to give you updates on a need-to-know basis, what we feel is needing to come to you at that particular time and in history, all right? So we're following along here. A lot of questions I wanted to hit up on. Martial law, is it a good thing? Is anyone promoting it out there? Should you be praying for it? Well, of course not. Now again, martial law. A lot of people are under the impression. There's a couple ways to look at this, folks. First, do you believe in the Constitution? And if you're like, yeah, I like it. I like all these certain rights that are in there for me. First Amendment, free speech, like my weapons. You can go on and on. Well, martial law is in there. Now it was, Article 9, Article 1, Section 9. It states the privilege. Let me get this article up here. It's probably hard to see. All right, Article 1, Section 9, the privilege of writ of habeas corpus shall not be suspended unless when in cases of rebellion or invasion, the public safety may require it. All right, so habeas corpus is a concept of law in which a person may not be held by the government without a valid reason for being held. So, folks, we know in history that we... Now, I don't know if this, I was looking it up. There was reports of it happening like after Katrina. All right. So people are like, I don't want, we've all seen the movies. So what's in your head? They've always depicted martial law being horrible in these futuristic movies where you can't move around your city or state. There's military roadblocks, tanks, Humvees, military and fatigue, weaponed up, and they're pointing it, and they're having roadblocks, and everyone's getting stopped and asked questions and turned around, arrested, shot. Yeah, that's horrible. That's a horrible version of martial law. That's what Hollywood has depicted it to be. That's what a lot of people push it to be. Now, if you lived in a big city, and just like after the election, these people come out of the woodwork, start breaking buildings, flipping over cars, lighting things on fire. Now, we've had most of the history shows that martial law comes in that small area, and they relieve the public authority of their duties, and they get it taken care of, and they are there to stop these people that are rebelling. Hawaii asked for it after, Pearl Harbor. And they awarded, what was it, Roosevelt? Or, make sure I got this right. But, after Hawaii got hit, they called for it. They got it granted, and they remained under they didn't go around collecting guns. These are all things that are added that if they had to. So, of course, you want to be suspicious of martial law, but if it's applied in the way that is there to stop the people from hurting other people and to burn down their own city, that's what has happened. So if you go into the history and look at actual facts and not Hollywood movies and the depiction of martial law, it's not something that we would, want to happen, but the way it is written is to protect and do things. If we're getting invaded, the police aren't trained for things like that, so you would want the military to do that. And everyone's like, oh, no, it's never good. Well, yeah, the forms of it that are in our head, and I'm not promoting it again. It's just, you got to look at how it's worded and to be applied. The rebellion or invasion, and it concerns the public safety. There would be never a time, and again, it's always in hot pockets. They're not, they don't have the man force to declare martial law over all the states and relieve all the officers of duty and just take over. That wouldn't be very feasible either. So typically this has been launched in hot pockets. We were talking about if this was something was to happen here soon and it was some kind of form of martial law. A lot of the articles we've been reading and following along with, even the Q tells us that it would be in certain pockets, and we're thinking probably LA, Chicago, New York, these 3 big cities right there, and maybe a few others where people are upset with what's going on. It's just like right now, are we in the 10 days of darkness? Are we not getting any reports from the media on anything valid because it's dark? This is what it could be this simplistic. There's not really any media blackout per se where they can't broadcast outward with a signal. It's just that they're not getting anything valuable from all their people. Government shut down. It is interesting, some of these people, and again, I haven't checked for a few hours, but like, if you look at some of these Twitter accounts from all these people that have been shouting, they've been a couple days absent. Is this the media blackout? Are we in the day 8 of the shutdown? Are people getting arrested, detained, taken in? I don't know. Let's keep an eye on some of these Twitter accounts. Brennan, Comey, Hillary. There's been some reports I haven't done. I was in the middle of looking up all that and getting something ready for a little later, and I decided to jump in on this again to just let everyone know martial law. It can go a couple different ways. It would be imposed against all the people, or it could be opposed against just our own people here that are trying to cause havoc, and we know those people exist. And you can say either one of them is not good. Well, as long as it doesn't get out of hand and it can be controlled by the local law enforcement, I would agree. But and I'm not saying it's what we have to do. It's just it's there for a reason, just like other things in our Constitution. So now this wasn't in our original, right? It was added by Lincoln. It was one of the amendments added years later. But again, it doesn't. It talks about. See, Trump's in an interesting position with finding out the heads of these agencies when he first got in, the FBI, the CIA, that they're all had bad actors, people that have broken laws. They could have shut those agencies down. He has that right. It wasn't something he would have wrote in and made, I'm gonna make it to where it's already been there. Now, think about if he would have done that. Oh, I found the heads of the FBI or the DOJ to be corrupt. I'm shutting them down until we figure this out and get new people in. That would scare a lot of people as well, even though he had the right to do that because of what you find out with these people. Instead, it's been an organic showing their crimes little by little, and still hasn't showed them all. And they've been getting let go, removed, demoted, walking away for now. So this is the way they decided to do it. People hear martial law and you think instantly overnight it comes out on the news and the whole country's under it and they're going door to door taking guns. I don't even think they did that when we've had these pockets under martial law in our country in the history books. Do your research. That wasn't the first thing they started doing. So it's like, well, I thought under martial law they do this. They can do that. It's written in there. That's a really scary thing for a lot of people. First thing is they're going to start knocking on doors, door to door, getting guns. Of course, nobody would want that. But that doesn't seem to be the case in the few times that we've had it even imposed. And again, I took this whole thing as if we did have martial law declared, it would be in pockets, not declared across the nation. And in the hot pockets is where it would be, you'd see it physically. And if you have our own civilians out in the streets flipping over cars, breaking down buildings, lighting them on fire, we don't need that. We don't need that. That's scary for the people that are living amongst that with no kind of law helping out, and it becomes too much of a thing. We've seen it. We've already seen the police in these big cities fail and the people just do what they want. So what would you say that it's more scary to have martial law come in to detain them people, to stop them people from creating havoc, flipping over cars, lighting things on fire, hurting other individuals, or it's more scary to have martial law imposed for that to get it to stop? If you didn't declare it and the police were stepping down and they were tearing down the whole city, that's scary for a lot of people that aren't participating in that and having to live through that. So that's where it was put in. It was added probably to be a good thing. Can it be flipped like everything else? Yes. A lot of people want to sit there and say, this is a psyop or that. The whole system's a psyop. The whole system we've been under before Q, before anything, it's all psyop. All the news, all the fake news, all the lies. And I don't see any good narrative in the lies of the mainstream media that tell us anything to prepare or, So if the Q is a psyop of sorts and it's trying to comfort you for martial law and to welcome it, I don't think so. I think it was just telling you to be aware that it is something in the Constitution. So again, you have to ask yourself, do you support the Constitution or just some of it? And some of the parts that you like that apply good to you, and other areas, I don't like that one. I've been through these conversations with people before. And again, where did you get your information at about martial law? What have you seen it do wrong in your lifetime to you? What have you seen it do wrong to others and maybe not your lifetime in the history books? Or has it helped? Can it be used for good? Can it be used for bad? Well, of course, that's everything. Guns. Computers. So make it, think about that and take what you will from it. Do your own research, read your own. I'll leave this little article. This is nothing. I found it just by typing in. There's several. You can go to the Real Deal websites if you want. This one's fine. I know things enough to read that these are excerpts taken right away from Article 1, Section 9. Read it enough, all right? So do your own research, folks. Don't get all driven. Again, everyone's got their own thoughts on it and what's been going around circulating. Again, we read an article that talked about possibly, is this coming after? Is it going to come January? We don't know dates. We don't try to pretend to know dates. We follow along. We read articles. There's been articles over the last month to do with prepping, to do with martial law, to do with maybe a 10-day media blackout. Are we under that now? Is a 10-day blackout a governmental shutdown? Is it going to go longer? Folks, we just don't know. So we're trying to get everything out. It's getting in your head. You're hearing it. The biggest thing is that you're going to be prepared for anything that could come. And if nothing ever does come, it is better to hear it than never. So we try to read you everything. Again, we promote you think for yourself, connect all your own dots, come to your own conclusions, and you can never go wrong. Again, I'm Mike. This is a Patriot Hour. God bless, Godspeed each and every one of you worldwide. We'll see you back here real soon on the next Patriot Hour update video.